Hey amigos, it is good to see you again. It has been a while since I have messed with this Ironhead project that I started about 5 months ago. So I figured it might be a good time to get started on it again. Put the rolling chassis together. I even got the motor out of the old frame. I didn't film that. I was too eager just to start working on it. I didn't really feel like worrying about cameras and all that stuff and lighting and stuff like that. So I just figured I'd just get it out and tell you what I did. I pulled the motor out of the old frame, and the way I pulled the motor out of the old frame, I laid the frame over on its side, and then I unbolted the motor, and then I pulled the frame off the motor, because that's really the best and easiest way to pull a Sportster engine out of a frame. But then I thought to myself, after I pulled that motor out, I got to looking at this thing. I sure am a goofball. Why in the world did I assemble a rolling chassis when I know I need the bare frame all by itself first to lay it on top of the motor? See, because what I would normally do, just like pulling the motor out, I would put it in the same way I took it out. So I'm going to have to lay this motor over, but not only that, take this rolling chassis back apart so that I can lay the frame on top of the motor and bolt it up and stand it up and then start putting it together. Oh well, but that's that. But before I do that, I went down to the post office today and I got another piece of mail from one of you guys. His name is Chris England, and I remember having a conversation with Chris over social media. He said he wanted to send me something that I could incorporate into this build, and he didn't say what that something is, so I thought maybe I'd open it up and share it with you guys, and also tell Chris I appreciate it very much. I can't wait to see what you got inside of here for me. Saddle Tramp, thanks for the great videos. So Mr. Saddle Tramp, I send this brake tail light and tag bracket and hope you can use it. It is new and the light is LED. I was going to use this in my build, it's 77 Ironhead Sporty, but I'm not going to build my bike because I'm not physically able to ride anymore. So I thought I would donate it to your build. I'm disabled from a genetic bone disease, so I just wanted to pass this along to someone who would be able to use it. I love the videos and look forward to any of the new ones you have coming out. I really like how you keep it realistic and down to earth. Anyway, enjoy and Merry Christmas, Chris England. Well, let's take a look at this thing. Oh wow. That is so cool. It's supposed to mount on the side of the motorcycle, like right over here. License plate bracket and tail light and brake light. I mean, check it out. It even says stop whenever it lights up. Chris, I am definitely going to use this. In fact, I was thinking about what kind of taillight am I going to use on this motorcycle, and I thought about something like this, but I really did not want to go out and purchase one because somebody like me, these things are not cheap. Wow. Chris, you rock. Thanks so much. Well, anyway, I'm going to get started on this and see what kind of bumps I'm going to come into when I get it all apart. And with all good success comes failure. Note to self, this is not how you remove a front end from a motorcycle. Folks, don't try this at home. Well, oops. Okay, just as expected, as you would with any chopper project, I run into, which I expected to run into this, a little bit of alignment issues with the motor mounts. Not that the motor will not fit, but if you look here on the old frame, there's a threaded hole right there, you know, 4 holes there, and look at the thickness right here and the thickness right there. So that's about how much bolt you need. I don't know if you can see it, but on this new frame it's a lot thinner, and I've just got this bolt stuck through here just to hold the frame in place to get where I want it to get. And I have one bolt that will thread into the back of this. It's only just long enough. So what I need is 4 bolts about as long as that bolt with a fine thread like that, so that it'll go in. Actually, I don't need a fine thread up here because these are just through holes. I just need to put some nuts on the other side. What I'm going to do, I'm going to go down the road to the local farmer's store where you can buy nuts and bolts. So I'm going to go down there and see if they've got what I need. So let's take a trip. And I forgot that my wife has the truck while her car's in the shop. So now I'm going to ride the tramp down to the store and try and beat this nasty weather. I'm in between rain showers. It's been going to be raining all weekend long. So let's see if I can get there and back before I get rained on. This is the place, Fazio's. I always come here rather than going all the way into town to find the nuts and bolts I need. They have a pretty good selection. So I'm gonna go inside here and see what I can find.
And there's an 1 1/4. Oh no, 1 3/4.
1 3/4, yeah.
Well, there's
and I can go 2. I can go 2. That's fine.
There's a 2 inch.
All right, that'll work.
Regular thread.
All right, 2 of these and some nuts to go with them.
All right.
All right, good deal. I think that'll set me for right now.
I don't know if I can remember that.
Okay, now I've got the correct nuts and bolts. So the next thing to do is the obvious, is to get back on the bike. Looks like I managed to beat one rainstorm here. So let's see if I can get back to the house without getting rained on. All right, made it back before another rainstorm. Got my nuts and bolts. So let's see if I can have better luck this time. Well, I think I'm going to stop right there. It's getting a little late and I'm already at my stopping point that I wanted to get to. But check it out. Looks a lot better with a motor in it, doesn't it? I really love how much of a machine this thing looks like. I mean, you can't beat an old school, I mean a real old school chopper. Something like a shovel, an iron, a pan, a knuckle. I mean, yeah, the Tramp is a bit old school as far as style, but this right here is the bee's knees, you know? I'm really digging that. I'm really digging how that looks. Now, it is nowhere near where it needs to be. I have a long way to go. I'm probably not going to go with that gas tank. I may not even go with this color. And I'll tell you why. The inside of that gas tank is pretty bad. But I happen to have another gas tank right here hanging up, the same dimensions, but it happens to look good on the inside, but not as great on the outside. But that's what paint's for. I have a fender up here with a sissy bar that I think that I'm going to use. There's a lot to be done to this motorcycle. At least I know how my wheel's going to fall out now that I have a motor in it. I'm going to have to put this chain, put a chain on here and put it on the wheel. And that's going to be a science, which is going to determine how I'm going to mount my fender, where my fender is going to mount. And I have a lot of engine work to do to this thing. I'm going to have the heads reworked, probably definitely new pistons and rings. I already have a gasket set. And then I'm going to go into the primary, because when I drained the oil out of the primary, something came out of there with the oil. It looks like a clip of some kind, I'm not sure. So I'm going to open that up and take a look, see how that looks. But this feels like a milestone to me right now, even though I am nowhere near out of the woods. But you know, I got something for more content. You know, I remember Shade Tree. If you're watching this, you said this, and I could have sworn you were talking about my channel. If you want to start a YouTube, just buy yourself an old Harley Davidson and the content will make itself, because you'll constantly have to fix that thing. Well, guess what, Shade Tree? Yeah, you're right. Look at that. As the saying goes, if you see an Ironhead coming down the road, it ain't broke down, but it's about to be. So even after this thing is finished, it's going to be a saga that's never ending. It's going to be fun. It's going to be frustrating. It's going to be all kinds of things. So anyway, if you guys can dig this, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. And subscribe if you're not subscribed already for more of this content coming up in the future. I'm not quite sure exactly what genre or what I'm going to do next to this, but I guarantee you it's going to be interesting. So you guys keep the rubber side down and you be good to yourselves, and thanks a lot.